IVM.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Made in India, hosted by May Thomas, where she brings exclusive acoustic sessions and interviews with the best independent musicians in India.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Welcome everyone, it's a new episode of the TFG Football Podcast, and what a day, guys. I mean, if you're an Indian football fan, that's exactly why I listen to this show, and what a day it was, the Wednesday night. Whether it was the 5 p.m. match or the 8 p.m. game, two amazing matches we got to witness, and to say combining, I think it was a great combination of good football out there, in particular with some teams and some teams not doing well. But outstanding Wednesday for us, all football fans, I must say. And I'm your host, Siju, and I have both the boys, Chiranjit and Kevin, joining us once again. We're in our respective homes, but that doesn't matter because we're getting the show respective of where we are. Now, before I speak about the Mohun Bagan Minerva match, I need to personally, have some venting out of a fan who's liking this Kerala Blasters at the moment, who was disappointed in the start, but it looks like the old forward and the flavor of KBSC, what they're known for, is back, because you had that one guy, coming up and stepping up for you, who always did that whenever he got a chance to play. And this time, to say that he didn't get much goals because he didn't get much game time, if you go to see how many minutes that he spent on the field. But what an amazing character in him. It was such a pleasure to watch that old KBSC back again with David James as their coach. But I think this is what they wanted, the Indian combination to do well, and the guys whom they got, the foreigners, not the big names, but Ian Hume is a big name in ISL. Now let's come back to, we'll keep that aside because that was very well looked like a one-sided game going ahead. But what a win for Minerva Punjab against Mohun Bagan at the home ground of Mohun Bagan. I mean, Chiranjit, I will come back to you later. Kevin, what a match and what a way to go on to the top of the points table. Minerva are just taking it from you.
Yeah, I will speak ahead of Chiranjit. I know he will not have too many excuses by the way Mohun Bagan have played. But just looking at the game, Minerva Punjab and Mohun Bagan, the result was 2-1. Scoreline, just looking at the scoreline, if someone has not watched the game, they will say it was a close match. So obviously it wasn't. And I'll just sum it up in one line. I think it is all about taking your chances. It's been the story for Mohun Bagan that they've not been able to do their entire season, and it's been the story for Minerva Punjab. You give them one chance, they score. I think 3 good chances they had, and out of that, 2 of them were finished brilliantly. An element of lack of quality from the goalkeeper, Shibin Raj. Obviously, the injury to Shilton Paul had him step up in his place. So, but again, if you're going to hit on target, you're going to get in the right power, you're getting in the right direction. There is a high chance, a high probability that the ball is going to land up in the back of the net. And I think that is the key difference that Minerva have been doing. They don't let go of the chances. Mohun Bagan last night, they weren't short of chances. Penalty, look at the way, everything.
I mean, I think more than the save, the shot only was taken so bad. I mean, he was so, probably isn't overconfident, I'm not sure. They're surprised at the fact that he's supposed to take this at the commentators are talking about, but it just looked like a bad penalty take from a player like that. Player of that caliber.
It was, even the commentators, I would really agree with them. It was looking casual. I think even the Shillong Najong game when Samuel took the penalty, it was casual. When you step up to that penalty spot, it is of high pressure. But the ball, it might be huge when you're playing an open game, but on the penalty spot, it looks as if it's just compact, and you see the goalkeeper is covered the entire goal. That kind of pressure is there. We talk about penalties being the game of the goalkeeper. It's not that way, but it's always tough. High pressure situation, and Mohun Bagan already they were a goal down. 2 chances. That is all it took for Minerva to take the game to Mohun Bagan. What kind of finishes are we expecting from a striker who's like for like? Just imagine if Sonny Nordic would have been in that place. He plays almost in the same place, in the same position as Sonny Nordic. He does cut in from the left to the center. And what kind of finishes he brings to the table.
And I think, Kevin, you will agree on this that they had more chances. I mean, we saw an open goal. There was a chance where they had an open goal chance, and then they also had a good passing of the ball. The build-up towards scoring the goal was also amazing.
Yeah, and not just if you just look at the finish that it tells you everything about Minerva. It was the final pass. It was how they play in the final third. So that leads to the goal. The way the defense was split, Kingsley and Kingshuk, they were just, bamboozled by the way the ball was played through them. Either there was no communication or the quality of the pass was too good. I think it's both. Obviously, we cannot take anything away from Minerva Punjab because they were, determined that they will, it's all about anticipation. Strikers live on anticipation. One chance will come on their way and they have to get the best out of it.
And whenever they play big teams like this, they are not under pressure. It's the bigger team that's under pressure.
Definitely not. Just look at the tempo of the game that was maintained by Minerva Punjab right till the end. I think it was just a lack of concentration towards the final minutes when Kingsley was allowed. And what a goal by Kingsley.
What a goal that was.
What a goal, and that just shows you, if a striker, the midfielder are not stepping up, somebody has to. Kingsley, amazing. He just spots the keeper, and what a long ranger.
Yeah,
but it's all about chances. I would still come back to that one statement. You have to take your chances. There were lots of chances for both teams, but only one team looked like they wanted to finish. Yeah,
absolutely. Coming to Chiranjeev, I mean, Kingsley has given us 2 beautiful goals. Just to looking at the perspective of good game and good goals. He scored in the derby, and that won Mohun Bagan the match. But last night's goal should be like the goal of the week or month or whatever that is. But it was on the losing side. Do you think if that penalty would have gone in and things would have been a different place? But also saying that Mohun Bagan was weak on the midfield of the defense because we always saw that Minerva caught them off guard and they just went by, playing in with the goals.
Do I have to talk today?
Do you want to keep Mohun? We are okay with that. We can move on.
I would actually much rather just stay silent and listen to the show today. I have not recovered from last night. The game kind of reminds me of this game in 2013-14 season. Rangdajied United visited Mohun Bagan. That was another game at the Salt Lake Stadium, and I think it was the first game where Eugene Lingdo was the captain. He was being a captain of a top division club for the first time, and Eugene put on a show. I wouldn't directly compare it to Chencho, but Eugene was the anchor of the midfield. He scored a goal and he got an assist, and it was a 2-0 loss to Mohun Bagan. And that game, I think, delivered a shock to the gut to Mohun Bagan. Like, this is not working. We're doing something very wrong because this is a Rangdajied United, in a young side, new side. How can they just outplay us like this? So the situation, the shock or the kind of wave of disappointment that was delivered from that game, it's similar to the one that has come in this game. Although I would not say Mohun Bagan played that bad. It's not that Mohun Bagan were outplayed. But again, Kevin is right in saying that, Minerva Punjab took their chances, Mohun Bagan did not. 12 corners. And what did they do? They did jack shit with them. So many times in the second half, Minerva Punjab were often defending with 9 people. And so many times in the final third, they made fouls. so many free kicks came Mohun Bagan's way. What did they do with it? Nothing. It seems like, Mohun Bagan used to be this team that could turn games around from set pieces. Right? They even won the league with a set piece in 2014-15. But this season they just don't seem to be aware of what to do or who to combine with, who to target, who will get them the finish. It's just like the strikers don't have the trust of the midfielders anymore. Like Nikhil Kadam can run up the left flank at the absence of Sonny Norde all he wants, and he can deliver crosses. But who's gonna give you the goal? Kroma, he was so good in Aizawl FC. He's turning out to be a player who cannot handle the pressure of playing in one of the Kolkata big clubs. Because no one can say he was not pushed by the club. He was not given enough chances. Right? The penalty decision, I have huge doubt whether that was actually a penalty. You can easily make that argument that this was a wrong decision by the referee. But the penalty happens and they give Kroma the chance to take the shot. They could have given it to Dika. Dika has scored so many goals from penalty this time, but I think it was a decision from the team. Like Kroma has been, his confidence has been going down. He even hit the post in the last game. So let him take it, and he just goes and makes a mess of it. It kind of, I almost burst out laughing when it happened, because it kind of reminded me of that moment against the Aizawl FC match. He got a header on target on an empty net, and even before the ball is approaching the goal, he starts celebrating, and he's going towards the photographers who are behind the goal to just celebrate and give a pose. And the ball hits the post and comes back to exactly where he would have been had he actually kept his eye on the ball and not started celebrating. He would have got a second chance to knock it into an empty net. But he just assumed it was going to be a goal and he just started celebrating. Same thing happened. He walked up to that penalty like he knew it was going to be a goal and messed it up. So yeah, you have that happening. You have Kingshuk Debnath, who just completely forgot what he's supposed to do. What to do, man? I don't even know. Shibin Kumar, the first goal should not have happened. A good goalkeeper would have saved it. But yeah, it's a young kid who has to step up at the last moment because the main goalkeeper is injured. That thing is going to happen. But even when you have those things happening, still 12 corners, so many free kicks. Does this team have no finisher at all? You have to wait for the defender to give you one consolatory goal at the 4 minutes into the second half. 4 minutes into the added time of the second half. This is completely ridiculous the way this team is playing. After the match, Shankala Chakravarti said Sonny Norde's absence was not a factor, and then it was Kogan Singh who was talking to the press. He said, "No, Sonny Norde not being there made the difference." I think that's what the difference it makes. That so many of the defenders would have to keep an eye on Sonny Norde. They would have had to put Eric Dano on the right to take on Sonny Norde. Here he was on the left of the central defense, and he was handling Kroma and Dika single-handedly. It's just that 60 to 70% of the pressure on Dika or Kroma would be taken away if Sonny Norde was there. So, but then again, that would be an excuse if you make an excuse if you see things like that.
One point I see in last game, I think they more than Sonny Norde, I would say they're missing Katsumi Yusa too much, because how many crosses did we see from the right way of Mohun Bagan? Hardly any.
No, Bekoke was completely off.
Yeah, it is a new game. fairly new experience for Shankar Lal.
I get it,
we talk
Kevin.
about the assistant coach being promoted as the head coach. It does not lead to a lot of change of ideas. Assistant coaches are always under the shadow and the ideology, of how they've been progressed together as a pair. So when you take off the head coach, it's always that some part of the ideology, some part of the methods of training will be carried forward. And I think it will take a while for Shankar Lal to just get into groove and get in fresh thoughts, fresh ideas into the team.
I don't think anybody is Kevin. I don't think anybody is blaming Shankar Lal here, and that was mainly the point. They did not want to shake things up in the middle of the season. They wanted somebody who's been with the team since before Sanjay Singh. Right. So, Shankar Lal would carry on what was already happening, and the system works. They're creating chances. It's just that they have, nobody who can make the finish. So, I will predict a few things here. Kroma is gone. Okay, he's not gonna make it past this game. He will be released. Somebody else will come in, or nobody else will come in. Doesn't matter at this point. He's been. That's how it goes in these clubs. You are given enough chances, and you don't produce results. Yeah, done. Dika, I don't know. I have huge doubts, but he might still stay. Cameron Watson. I feel bad for the guy right now. He's probably going to be a really good influence going forward this season. But man, he should have finished that goal at the last moment. Even a point would have been a good from this game, good result. But what to do? He missed that chance, but you can't hold that against him too much. Nikhil Kadam, we have seen him play in both wings, right? Sonny Node comes back, he moves to the right. We have a good combination in our hands. Fayaz also. Fayaz, a little bit disappointed. He came on half an hour in after Bekuke was pretty much doing nothing. But what to do? But then again, I don't think we really need to dwell on this too much. It's a bad result. It was a case of too many chances created and nothing taken. Well, this kind of shows that where Mohun Bagan are. They can't. This was their last official home game, by the way, of the season. They're gonna have to play Derby on 21st next, and after that all the games are away. So they'll have to travel. They'll have to put in that extra work. This was a very weird fixture. It was set up for Mohun Bagan to do well in the home leg and get the momentum going. They've completely failed. Now they'll have to look for away games to salvage the situation, which they can still do. Mohun Bagan have not really been dominated this season. They've lost two close games. Even this game, the way they have played, it easily could have been 4-1 or 4-3 to Mohun Bagan. But it is as it is. If you don't score goals, you lose. So Mohun Bagan will. I don't think at this point they can think about winning the league. 6 points below the league leaders. Still possible, but they should just think about at this point. Maybe they can per se they can say like we'll still try to win the league, but I think it's more or less about being in the top 3 and above East Bengal at this point. So that's the thing we will see. We will see damage control from the team management. We will see damage control from the coach. I'm interested in seeing who comes in to replace Kroma. I'm interested in seeing how Sonny Node and Watson work together. So things are there to look forward to. But kiss the league goodbye. Now try to be in the top 4 and see if you can do something in the Super Cup. It's 2013-14. After that loss to Rangdaji United, club went into damage control mode. And I'll end this with a bright story. Is that after that loss, the shock that went into the club officials led them to create that team that won the league next season. As a Mohun Bagan fan, I'll have some hope that maybe next season, after this shock, they will go in that direction. So yeah.
Well, that is just next season they're in ISL, or if there's I-League going.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so much for somebody who's going to listen to us talk and not talk in the show. But moving on, I think it's time to slip into a short break. On the other side, we'll be definitely talking about the Delhi Dynamos versus Kerala Blasters match, and also tonight ISL game. All of that on the other side.
Hi, I'm Amit Verma, the host of the weekly podcast The Seen and the Unseen. In my show, I examine the seen effects and the unintended consequences of public policy and private action. I show how policies meant to help the poor often end up hurting the poor. I've done episodes so far on demonetization, GST, surgical strikes, immigration and MRP. And I will continue my forensic assault on the truth in the weeks to come.
Catch the show every Monday on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you prefer. Or visit seenunseen.in for all the latest updates.
Welcome back, guys. Great first half, not just for the matches that we saw, but also for our show. Now moving into ISL, because last night we saw Delhi Dynamos host Kerala Blasters, and what a match and what a comeback, or probably a start to the rest of the season to look at in a positive way for Kerala Blasters firstly, but struggle for Delhi Dynamos continue. Kevin, I'm coming to you in here. A great match for Kerala Blasters, 3-1, hat-trick scored by none other than Ian Hume, the guy who always steps up when he's given the chance, and here once again he showed it.
Yeah. Keepers, we talked about keepers yesterday, and unfortunately Paul Rahupka could not start, and Subhashish Roy was there in his place, and for Delhi the first striker automatically becomes Irueta, who just before halftime had to sadly be replaced following a clash from Stepanos. Now, The first goal that came in, I think it was, something that we are expecting from strikers. We are expecting someone who's playing as a target man to do that. A cross comes in from the left, and Ian Hume is right there behind the defender. Even if not in front of him, he's there to just knock it past an empty net.
Yeah.
And
it was like he slipped and he took the ball also with him instead.
Yeah, and see that's what we're expecting with even Mohun Bagan or even other teams. When you look at them, your strikers have to be anticipating things, and this is all about anticipation. Just imagine if it was Hume who was waiting at the edge of the box or even outside the penalty area, and or maybe at the edge of the box looking at is somebody going to be passing a tap in for me? No, it was getting as close as possible to the ball, and he did just that. It just shows you the glimpses of Ian Hume being back, the golden touch that he had. Every time he touched the ball, it looked like he was about to score. And that's the same kind of form that he hit last night. I don't know what was different. He's been playing the same team. He's got the same players. It's just a different coach. What has he put in his mind? Not sure. But this is what Ian Hume was brought into the team for, and he started delivering that. If he continues that, we know there's something about maybe the man management part that David James has gotten with him or whatever. But it was good to see from Kerala Blasters getting into goals. Delhi Dynamos, how miserable they are at the moment. We feel sad for such a team who's just not able to get things right. Chante, as bright as ever. Why is he not playing entire games? Why is he being subbed off? Romeo Fernandez, what a miss. No, he is a total misfit for Delhi Dynamos. He just gets in the ball, and when he's got an empty net, he hits the side netting. He's not able to even test the keeper. What? I fail to understand why he's given so much game time when you have players like David was there. What a brilliant chance that he created. He saw the keeper off the line and almost became a Kingsley moment. Long way off the goal. And that kind of, you need that zest in the team. It was lacking from Delhi Dynamos. Obviously, when they came back into the game with the equalizer. I think that it felt like it is the spark that they needed to get going. But again, it doesn't last for too long. It's just a couple of moments that Delhi are able to create, but they are not able to sustain that the constant pressure that they have to get the goals, because one or two goals will not ever get them to win. They have to go more than that, and that is how Kerala Blasters showed how it is to be done. So Delhi is just going down. It doesn't look like any. They have to take big steps. Portugal still in charge of this team, whereas other teams have made changes. Look at Kerala Blasters. They've seen the difference. How long before he goes? Not sure, but this is looking at the way Kerala Blasters approach this away game. I think they were fantastic yesterday.
Yeah. Ranjit, any different thoughts that you have, or you're also on the same page?
Well, I was watching this game. I was trying to forget the Mohun Bagan game by watching this game, and when the first half was going on, I was just thinking, why is Berbatov starting? Why? Okay, Keziron played well in the last game, so you have to give them a start, and you bench Stefanos to play Berbatov. But of course, you could see that the what do you call it? The role had changed. Hume was getting more of the ball. He was that was the major change made by David James, was that he told the wingers, he told the midfielders, Hume is our target man, not Berbatov anymore. And how much of a difference that made. They got the early goal. Okay, they were it was going on, it was happening pretty well. But what was Berbatov doing out there? Was David James told by the management that you have to start Berbatov? Because the way he got subbed off even before the halftime, if David James really wanted, he could have just made a halftime change. But even before the halftime whistle came, he got subbed off by Stefanos. Well, that makes me think that something passed. That we have a star here, we have to play him for this many minutes. Something like that, because that did not look good at all. And that's when it sort of, in the second half, Kerala Blasters, I thought they looked a little bit more fluid. So here's the thing. Delhi Dynamos, I thought they were going to pull off with a 1-1 draw. But it just seems like, the point that Kevin made, the zest is not there, the zeal is not there. And towards the end, it seemed like their stamina was dropping, their abilities were dropping, speed was getting less and less, and that's when Ian Hume delivered the killing blow. You give him that much leeway, of course he's gonna finish you off. So yeah, that's what happened. And I talked about history repeating in the Mohun Bagan game. Yeah, history is repeating here as well. Ian Hume is the main man. David James is there as the coach. Kerala Blasters are making a turnaround. They are probably going to carry on with this, because they have just found their rhythm. It's not like they were that bad throughout the tournament. Even the matches where they lost, they did not look like miserable as Delhi Dynamos or Northeast United or ATK have looked from time to time. They just seem like they lack the spirit, and that's what they have right now. Maybe it's management, maybe it's shedding some dead weight, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's looking good for them, and KBFC fans should be really excited for the rest of the season. This team may just go into the top 2.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's hope for a better season ahead from Kerala Blasters, and it's just a beginning from Ian Hume's goal scoring point of view. Now we have another game tonight that we need to look at. Is FC Goa playing Jamshedpur FC, and FC Goa coming back to their home ground after a very long time. So a lot of traveling they did in between, which also got them a 1-0 draw at ATK and a loss at the hands of Northeast United. So coming back at home, I guess this should be a good chance for them to get back to winning ways. Kevin, what do you think so?
Yeah, definitely. the FC Goa should be much more comfortable, and they should be playing the best of players. We've seen them rotate for a while, and the star definitely will take care of how many goals they are able to score in the game. So if they are scoring, I think we'll see that in the first half itself, or else just try to shake off the travel woes, and maybe, if not a final win, maybe just a 2-1 win should be comfortable for FC Goa if they're able to just get back what they lost in all the travels.
Okay, Ranjit?
Yeah, well, this looks like a setup for FC Goa to make a comeback, right? Their loss to Northeast United was kind of a bit of an unfortunate, and again it kind of reminded me of or the Mohun Bagan game was reminding me of the way FC Goa played in the second half against Northeast United. Had chances.
Really deep in thought about the Mohun Bagan loss.
I'm not gonna be over this for a while. I think, but then again, it's a superstition. But people say bad performance ahead of the derby sets you up for a good derby. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, FC Goa did have chances, again could not take, and that's what was their downfall. So that was against 4-5 days ago. So they had their time to ponder on it, and now they're facing this team which has a good defense, has probably one of the best defenses in ISL if you go into that, but they don't have that straight up attacking capabilities. They're not that intimidating when it comes to pressing ahead. So that might actually work in favor of FC Goa, is that they will be able to play an attacking game less inhibited by a fear of being stuck back. You know what I mean? They can put some pressure on Jamshedpur defense and not worry that they will strike back as much. So FC Goa defense per se is not in a bad shape right now. There's been some, let's say, last couple of games they've had to move things around, but they will be, I think, in better shape to, prepare themselves for tonight's game, and they can really hope to put pressure on Jamshedpur FC from minute one, and hope that they can have a battering ram approach. Like, you just keep trying and striking and striking and striking, and eventually you get one through. So it's gonna be another game that will test them, that will test their attack. It won't be like a easy conversion rate kind of a game. They will have to create 5 chances to get 1 goal, but FC Goa do have that attacks, and I think that's how it's gonna go. Maybe it's a 1-0 win for FC Goa, or a 2-1 win. But that, I think that's how it's gonna go. And I think Jamshedpur FC, if they get that goal, it's gonna come from a short number of chances. It's like they'll be creating 2 or 3 chances and they'll take 1. So yeah, that's how I think it's gonna go.
Well, okay then. Let's see if FC Goa can pull back a win here and get back to what they started off with, or if it's a surprise from Jamshedpur. You never know. It's a game of football. It's a game of 90 minutes. Let's see how it goes about. That's all, and that brings to the end of today's show. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did so, then show us some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the new episodes. And if you are following these matches and you want to say something, you can also do that in a comment section on our YouTube channel, or talk to us directly on Twitter to @Boza_Kevin_1994. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy, and you can also read about all these stories on our website at fangraphs.com. Have a great day and come back to us tomorrow. Cheers.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through atkt.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. atkt.in.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Billions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.